Hey, what's up, everybody? I've got a card show coming up. I'm leaving tomorrow in Arkansas. And so just finishing some things up. And this is something I wanted to do more of, was do more live streams where I'm just working and explaining kind of what I do as a sports card dealer to you all. Maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn something. So, anyways, I'm just going to be pricing some stuff out. Ask any questions you want. We can go through pricing. I'm going to be just going through and kind of tidying up some $4 boxes and $2 boxes and pricing some vintage stuff right now. I'm going to put a vintage box out because I've got some extra room at this show. And so, yeah, it should be, a good opportunity to kind of hang out. This is kind of boring work, so I thought this would be fun. I moved down to southern Missouri from Kansas City, so I'm not at the warehouse every day like I was. It was something that was planned from the time that I started with Mike. And so, we accomplished our goals. It's a bittersweet thing. I'm really glad to be closer to my family and to be, out on my own. But at the same time, Mike and Acacia are like family too. So that's tough. But yeah, just going to get into this. And I'm not going to just explain everything because, I got to get work done. But any questions you've got, I'll try to keep the dialogue going and kind of tell you what my thoughts are whenever I'm doing stuff like this. And then, any questions you have, just ask me and I'll try to answer them. I definitely don't know, don't know everything by any means. But working with Mike, I've picked up a lot and I've been doing this for a long time. So maybe I can help out a little bit. Anyways, that's about it. I'm going to switch over to a display mode view. And start searching eBay a little bit. And yeah. Give me just a second. I want to reformat this a little bit. There we go. That way it's a little easier for you all to kind of see what I'm doing. Hello, Connor. What is up, buddy? Me and Connor were just texting before this about a big old Juan Soto card he picked up. Got a good deal on. So actually, that's in my eBay search right here. Soto SP hips. I changed it. Hands on hips. Rookie. PSA 10. Pretty cool card. Yeah. So looks like they're selling for 900, 1,000, 11, 12, 50. Looks like they've come down since the beginning of the summer, but let's see where the Padres are at schedule wise. Padres. I meant Padres. Padres 82 and 66. So let's see where they wind up. Standings. Padres are second in the West, so they should be fine. We'll see. Mets and Braves clinched wild card. NL Central still a toss-up. What? That's a little... Yeah. Okay. Whoa, maybe not. Padres are, 21 games back of the Dodgers. So, we'll see, I guess. Probably be in there. So that'll help if they're in the playoffs and Soto has a chance to go off. Might help that card a little bit. Braves. How close is San Diego? Yeah. Entering Tuesday, Padres hold the number 2 wild card in the National League. Half a game in front of the Phillies and 3 games ahead of the Brewers. But they've got the Cardinals, Dodgers, and White Sox and a road trip to Colorado. So we'll see what happens. All right. I'm going to have to re-sleeve all this stuff as I'm going through it. This came in a deal from Mike. There were some Manals and like some nice Ernie Banks. They kind of paid for everything. And then this is just smaller star stuff. I'm just going to put a bargain box together for this show. So I'll go through and re-sleeve it, make it look good, and price it, and put a box together. So this is a low grade 69 Lou Brock World Series. Tops. Series. 725. This one's got a mark on it. I'm going to put $3 on it. We're in Cardinals country, so Lou Brock stuff does pretty well, but I just want it sold. Just want everything sold as soon as I buy it so I can go out and buy more stuff. That's business. Gotta have turnover. I normally don't put vintage stuff out at shows. I keep it on eBay. It's vintage. Being a vintage sports car dealer is very different than selling modern stuff. Anybody can sell modern stuff. It takes a long time to develop a following for vintage cards. And once you've got a following, you got people that trust you and they come back to you like time and time again, then that's different. But until you have that, it's kind of slow going and hit or miss. That might take 10 or 15 years, to really get that. Looks like this is about an $8 Yastrzemski. It's pretty clean. '69 Bob Gibson with a crease. I'm guessing that's $4 or $5. Put the card number in there. That way it whittles out the league leader stuff. Dang, $40 in an X Mint. 99 cents plus $4.65 shipping in low grade. Will not be selling a Bob Gibson, 69 Bob Gibson for 99 cents. It probably is. And here's a miscut from GM Cards, VGX. Yeah, it's probably like $5. I'll put 6 on it. It's a pretty desirable card in like a decent grade. I mean, 25, 30, $40. So $6 in Missouri seems fair. Let's see here. 1970 Topps, Ted Williams. This one's pretty clean. That's the other thing about vintage is you kind of got to grade everything out. I mean, you don't have to necessarily write it down or put it in the listing, but in order to price it, you at least got to look at it pretty close. make sure there's no marks or anything, and just price it right. This is a VGX. So that one sold for $10 as VG. I don't think this is a $10 card, to be honest. It's probably more like a $7 card. Even in like decent condition, the 70, 71 Ted Williams stuff he's a manager, so it's not as desirable. Here's a beat up 69. I'm just gonna put what number is it? 650. That actually might be a little more. Let's see, $11 VG, 15, 280. Low grade 445, $8. Yeah, $6, $6, probably $5. It's pretty beat up. Hot 1962 Hot Corner Guardians. Oh, I need to change the sleeve on this. I think I'll go through and take all these out of sleeve so I'm not pricing stuff that's in sleeve in the old dirty oversized sleeves. Some good stuff in here. And it's all like $10 and under stuff, which is kind of hard to sell, but it's good names, which makes it I mean, they're easier to sell. It's tough to list and ship cards that are $10 and under on eBay, but for shows the Star vintage stuff does pretty good. Kind of saving. I don't ever save penny sleeves, but top loaders, if they're clean, I'll at least save them. There's another 69 Sporting News. Is Strimsky in that? What that is? Yeah, that one's $8. This one's centered a little better. Corners aren't. Oh, it's got a crease. It's like $4. Especially thick top loaders. Thick top loaders are extremely expensive right now. Like 40 cents a piece, and that's like dealer cost. For the like real thick stuff. Let's see. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to get this figured out to where I can do like remote podcasts where me and Mike can do what's that show called that we do? Cardcast, where he can just link up or whatever, and we can do it remotely. That would be cool. All right, hot 1962 Clayton Boyer, Billy Gardner, Hot Corner Guardians. Just gonna put $3 on this. They're Yankees, but they're not like big name Yankees. Second year Billy Williams, 1962 Billy Williams. Low grade to Billy. Is $10 VG. Probably like second year Billy Williams. Or $7 or $8, even in like low grade condition. Probably. That's $6. Try to make stuff affordable, but still leave myself some wiggle room if somebody wants a deal. I'd like to just price everything at like market, but you can't do that. Like some people will not buy something, no matter how good of a price it is, unless you come down some. So even if I price it under market, like fair, like with a discount, people won't buy it unless you come down. And that's just part of it. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's just part of it. A lot of people don't look up comps on everything, and they just think it's in the ballpark. So if they can get a little bit of a discount, then that's even better. 62 Bill Scouron in a VG. $4. 61 Baseball Thrills Harvey Haddix. I think that's 61. This is nice. It's got like really good color and gloss. I don't know if y'all can. I can't really see that. Why it won't? Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you can tell. The color's really good on it. It's one of my favorite things. Like, I don't care about centering that much, but like cards with like good gloss and color, like sheen, like really crisp color, are really, just for me, more rare. That's, people are different in vintage. Some people like only care about centering. They don't care about corners or fading or anything like that. They just want stuff centered. Some people just want crisp edges and corners, and I like color. Like if it looks like it just got pulled out of the pack color wise, that's more important to me. Haddix, $3. So any card is $1 on eBay. If there's a sale for a card on eBay, then it's at least $1. And really, you can justify any card being like at least $3. Like it's $2.50, it's $4 shipping. So it's they paid $6.50. Same with this. This one was free shipping, $2.02. So I think putting $3 on, even though the comps are $2.50, putting $3 on this card is plenty fair. I mean, Dean's cards, they're a big vintage seller. $2.35 for a good, a 2. You say 2 grade good example of this Harvey Haddix. Dean's cards gets really, really good prices. And that's just the thing of they've been around forever. And like I said, once you build a following of people that trust you, they'll just keep coming back. They like the service. These are the true collectors. Vintage cards have a lot more true collectors. And it's actually really nice to be able to work in that environment. Not that modern cards don't have a lot of collectors, it's just the overall population, the percentage of just like true collectors, like, hey, I like that card, how much is that card? I'll buy it, is slimmer. Or people that will just pay, come back to you and buy stuff from you because they appreciate, your honesty, how you present the card, whether it's fair and how you grade it and stuff like that, and price and your service and everything. As opposed to just, how big of a discount they can get. 1971 Topps Hoyt Wilhelm. Dang. I wonder what that went for. $14.95. Hoyt Wilhelm's stuff doesn't go real high. He's a Hall of Famer, but his stuff doesn't go for just a ton. So I'm pretty sure Hoyt Wilhelm's a Hall of Famer. He was a Cardinal for quite a while, I think. It says on the back of the card, a future Hall of Famer, Hoyt is the only pitcher to appear in more than 1,000 games, holds virtually all lifetime reliever marks, and holds major league mark with 247 straight errorless games. Dang. 1942 was his first year in professional baseball, and he didn't get called up until 1952. And this is his 1971 card. Holy crap. So he's probably like, holy crap. He's born in 1923. So he was 19 when he started in the minors, 29 when he got called up to the majors. And this is, so he's 50, almost 50 years old? Jeez. I mean, that's what it works out to. Hoyt Wilhelm. Never mind. Anyways, 1923 to 1971, he's 48 years old in this card. That's insane. I did not know that. You learn something new every day. This card's like, the reason I turned that over was to see what the number on the back of it was. 248. 71s are divided by series. Like all sets are like that, but it means more in 71. First series is like, cards are like $1. They're everywhere. Second series are a little bit more. Third series, fourth series, fifth series, sixth series, semi-high numbers, and then seventh series are the high numbers, and their commons are $5 to $10 a piece. For a decent example, $4 on a Hoyt Wilhelm. Nah, $3. It's kind of beat up. $1975 Mickey Mantle. MVP on Newcomb. And this card is like a 2. Golly. Somebody like went around and trimmed this corner off. Like with scissors or something. It's going to be a $3 card too. Even though it's Mickey Mantle. This is actually, if you try to build out a 75 set, these MVP cards are pretty pricey. Like, there's several of them. Like, I'm wanting to say there's like 30 of them or maybe more. It says 51 to 75, so there's 24 of them that they put in here. It's probably when they started the MVP award was 1951. Or maybe it says 25 years of tops. So 25 of these maybe. It's got the American and National League MVP. So Mickey Mantle's on like 4 or 5 of them. I don't even know. But they're all like $2 a piece. So it's like $50, $2 or $3 a piece. So it's like, and if you're getting them in decent grade, it's even more. So it's, when I was building these out, it was like 2018, 2019. I worked on this, mainly 71s, but I did work on 75s too. Those weren't as much then. They were like $300 sets. So $50 of a $300 set is kind of a lot when you got to add a George Brett rookie and a Robin Yount rookie. And at that time, in a decent condition, those were at least like $80 for both of them. So right there with these and those 2 cards, you got like $130 into a 300 card set, and you still got 620 cards to add to that with all the stars and everything else that goes along with it. So it was kind of a tough set to build out and profitably. It was almost vintage sets are really tough to build out and make any money off of. It really is a dealer, you want to buy them and split them up to make any money. Buying them and or building them to sell is not profitable in most cases, unless you just, it makes them easier to sell. So if you can get like a near complete set for a really good price and then just add what you need to it, then it's maybe worth it. Makes it easier to sell. 69 Bob Gibson Leaders card. This one's, again, oh, there's an O-Pee-Chee. Oh, there's a couple of O-Pee-Chees in here. Several of them from Canada. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. ComC, $5 for a low grade. $3.40, $3. It's kind of low grade. It's got a wax stain and small crease rounded off corners. So yeah, $3. 69 Hoyt Wilhelm with some print bleed on it. Let's see what that goes for. Oh, text from Connor. He will be in the live stream. That has already come true. He was in the live stream. He is or is in the live stream. All right. So, how is everyone's day? How's it going, everybody? I'm seeing a lot of chatter in the chat. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. See how everybody's doing. We haven't been as active with the live streams and podcasts and stuff, so I figured there wouldn't be a huge turnout for this. But like I said, I want to do it more often. And yeah, as people watch it back, maybe there's some value here. Most of this stuff, I will always start out just looking stuff up on eBay. If it's something that there's a lot of comps on, enough that I can get an idea, especially this low dollar stuff, then yeah, I don't mess with any other pricing platform. I know a lot of the guys, the vintage guys, they use VCP, vintage card pricing, and it's pretty helpful for a lot of stuff. Here's a miscut Gaylord Perry. But yeah, I'll just use eBay as much as I can because it's quick. Like even 130 point, like you put something in and you search it, it takes just a little bit longer, like maybe 5 seconds longer, but that adds up if you're trying to price out like, 100 cards, 500 seconds. What is that, like 10 minutes? I'm not trying to price out 100 cards. There's like 30 here, but still. Gaylord Perry, $3. Here's a decent one. 1961 Mini Minoso. That's probably like a $6 to $8 card. It's pretty nice, actually. Might be more. We'll see. Connor, do you buy any inventory that's not from shows? If so, where? Yeah, I buy a lot of inventory not from shows. Actually, shows, it just depends on, like, if it's the right deal at a show, I'll buy it, but not just out of convenience. I buy a lot of stuff from Mike that he has come in the shop and he'll flip to me. If I can, I try to buy from individuals, and I'm going to start advertising more where I'm at to see if there's people out there looking to sell collections, because That's what I prefer, is just to buy directly from the seller individual. You can get some really good deals at shows, but it can be like, in order to get those, like, you gotta wade through everything. Whereas, like, if you put an ad out and somebody, responds to it, then they're ready to sell. And I normally will provide people with like an idea of, hey, these are the rates I pay. This is what I pay for stuff that's like $10 and under. This is what I pay for stuff that's $10 to $20. Higher dollar cards I pay more for. Bulk rates. This is what I pay. That type of thing. So if they already know that going into it, and are setting up the meeting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get a deal done, but there's a lot better chance that you'll get a deal done and at the rates that you want to pay, or that you can afford to pay. There's always a trade-off, because it's like, I can't pay more than I can get it somewhere else. Everybody wants to sell for the most, and everybody wants to buy for the least. I'll pay as fair as I can, but if I can buy the same type of inventory somewhere else, then I'm not going to pay more for it. Just because somebody wants more for it. Like, it'd be nice to just be able to make everybody happy, but that's not how business works. So yeah, I kind of give them an idea going into it, like, hey, these are the rates I pay, and if somebody goes ahead and sets up a meeting, then there's a pretty good chance we'll get a deal done. At the same time, the amount of people that are looking to sell is going up, and actually the amount of people that are trying to buy is going down. So it's a buyer's market, and I'm constantly adjusting my prices based on what I can buy. What I can buy inventory from somebody else, like what the buying market is. And so a lot of times you might not get a deal done right away, but then they might call a month down the line. They check with some more people and are like, hey, that guy made me a pretty fair offer. I'll just take it. And I'll hold prices for a little bit, but sometimes there's a change. It just depends. What's up, Sean? You didn't miss much. I'm just pricing stuff out on eBay here. There's a show in Arkansas, in Springdale, Arkansas, this weekend. So I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'm putting a vintage bargain box out. I bought 3 tables for this show, and then I'm in the process of moving. So like, there's a certain amount of inventory I still have in Kansas City. And so I don't actually have 3 tables worth of inventory, and I might sell one to a friend of mine that is setting up next to me, but I'm just trying to like figure out what I can come up with that I can put out to fill those tables up. I've got some $2 boxes that I don't always take. I'm putting a vintage bargain box together, so I'm pricing that out, and then just going to be going through and kind of double checking everything, cleaning some stuff up. And I thought would be a good time to just do a live stream. I want to do more of these. It's kind of boring work. So I thought, now that I'm set up in a place where I have a little more, my old apartment in Kansas City was tiny. So now that I've got, my own full office back and everything, thought I'd start doing more live streams and, try to pass on some tips and stuff and take questions and just kind of hang out. So that's what I'm doing here. But thanks for being here, Sean. But yeah, need to fill up as much table space as I can. It's a 62 strikeout leader, Sandy Koufax. It's a pretty good card. It's off center. It's actually really similar to that. It's not as miscut, but it is miscut a little bit. So I mean, there's $12.95 for a miscut one. Here's some like cheaper ones, but you kind of go off of like that's probably $7 or $8. This is about what I would price this card at. It's pretty clean except for the centering. Pretty nice card. Let's put 7 on it. Vintage is weird. Like you might not sell a single card for like a day and a half, and then somebody might come up and spend like $300 or $400 just in a bargain box like this. You never know. Warren Spahn. The 62 Warren Spahn win leaders. It's a cheap card. Cheaper, and this one's kind of beat up, so $3. $3. I don't know if y'all know much about like Pokemon and Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, but I actually think I might start getting more into it. I set up with a guy at Collecticon in Kansas City last weekend, and it was really interesting. Learned a lot from him, and then there's like, for some reason here in like the southern Missouri area, there's a ton of trading card game stores. Like there's only a couple sports card stores in Springfield and Ozark, Nixa, that kind of area. I think there's like 15 trading card game stores. I mean, like devoted to like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. They have like play areas, tables set up for people to actually play the games and stuff. That's what they were saying. There's like several like decent ones. So it's kind of interesting. But I thought if nothing else, I could build some like $4 boxes with like Pikachus and different things. And if somebody's in it, like almost every show I go to, somebody asks about that. Like there's people there, and it's a supply and demand thing. So if there's demand there and there's very little to no supply, if you're the only one with the supply, then it's gonna sell. Again, it's just finding, where to buy that stuff, finding the inventory at the right price. It's more of it's not really like like I'm not getting into it like high end, although some of those Magic Alpha cards are really intriguing to me because they just like the rare, the actual like what they title as rare Magic Alphas are like, I think he said like 1,100 was the print run on those. So of all of them, there's like that Black Lotus. I think that's why it's over $100,000 if you find one. And it's like the number one. It's like the Mickey Mantle rookie, and they only print 1,100, which is interesting because that's like how many Mickey Mantle rookie cards PSA is graded. It's like 1,100. Maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's 2,000. Maybe it's actually more than that. Actually, that interests me. I'm gonna look that up. 1952 tops. $1,497. There's actually more Mickey Mantle rookies that have been graded by PSA than there are. Kind of move this around so you can see. Then there are rare variation alpha Magic cards. Huh. I don't know. It's interesting. I like rare stuff. It usually burns me, but I like it anyways. When I say that, I mean usually rare stuff's normally like hard to sell because there's just not as many buyers for it. A lot of people don't know about it a lot of the time. Yeah. Sean, I've always enjoyed chasing oddball stuff. Having stuff that's not in everyone else's case will stop people at a show. For sure. There's stuff that like I bought a Bill Russell auto at the National, which is like the weekend he died, so it was good timing. They've actually gone down since he died. I think they'll go back up. Well, I know they'll go back up, but normally I'm just trying to turn stuff over and keep that money engaged. But that card looks really good. It stops people. It's one of those cards that kind of like sells the other cards around it. So there's some value there. Rogers Hornsby. X-Mint. This is EX at least. $5.89, $3, $2. I'm gonna put $5 on it. Here's a 57 Don Zimmer that looked like somebody carried around it in their wallet for like 5 years. But yeah, I definitely like having stuff like that. It's been easier for me lately. Like, I normally will only put out like one showcase. Is that not popping up? There we go. So even though I don't really seek out bigger cards, this have been seeming to find. They just seem to have been finding me lately. So I've graded some. I've had a good little rotation of like cool cards that bigger, higher dollar, like cool cards you don't see every day. I'm trying to think of what I have right now. I bought some cool stuff at that at Collecticon. Actually, I bought some. That show was really good for buying. So it's just a few things. Ramondre Stevenson Honeycomb. Van Jefferson 101, like true 101 from Plates and Patches. There's that 56 Ernie Banks. It's pretty nice. It's like a 6 probably. A couple Manals. Trying to find. There's a Vladdy rookie auto. It's a good one. Kind of good. I mean, it's a $150 card, but it's a cool $150 card. Ooh, Najee Harris Kaboom. Got that. A really good deal on that. And actually, these two came together with that Honeycomb Ramondre Stevenson. So that's a Optic Contenders Cracked Ice Ramondre Stevenson out of 22. All three of those came together along with some other stuff. I got this at Dallas. It's a Tatis 1/1 National Treasures relic. It's a Stance sock, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it's a big deal, like a popular sock company. So that's like it's not something they did for everybody. It's just kind of a one-off. Like I haven't seen one from another player. It's not. I don't think they intended to put the Stance sock logo on that card. It was just kind of a fluke. So I like that card, and I'm into it. Well, like I definitely didn't overpay for it. What else do I got? Anything else cool? Yeah. There's that Bill Russell. Oh yeah, Bill Russell on card Optic Contenders auto. I've got $800 on it. It's probably worth more like $600, which is pretty much what I paid for it. So there is a out of 5 Magic Johnson 3-color game used patch auto. The sticker, but it's 3-color. Somebody's telling me it makes a huge difference on that Hall of Fame patch autos, like the 3-color. It's got to be from the 80s probably. That 3-color jersey is worth, like, there was a Spectra out of 5 that was a 2-color patch, but it was an on-card auto, and it went for $500. And somebody was telling me that this card's worth more because there's somebody that knows what they're talking about, I think, said this card is worth more than a 3-color patch from Magic Johnson Game Used is worth more than a sticker auto takes away. I don't know. I've got $700 on it. Let's see if anybody makes me an offer. So anyways, yeah, it just had stuff show up that was the right stuff at the right price. Don Zimmer is my last card to price here. What is a low grade? Oh, there's one with a tear that went for $17. There's a GM crease. A lot of times GM cards, low grade stuff goes for less than like if just some random person put a low grade card up. It's weird. So it might be like a $10 card, even in that crappy shape. There's a VGX that went for $10. I don't know. I mean, you put it at $10, somebody asked for it at $8. Here's one with a crease that went for $6. This one has multiple creases. I'm gonna put $8 on it. See if somebody wants it for $6. All right, and then we need to put these in top loaders. I'll be right back. I need to get some top loaders. So I've got all these priced now, and I've got a box back there of vintage stuff that I haven't done anything with. I'm going to go through and pull the stuff that I think will sell. It's stuff with bigger names on it. And add my eBay inventory to it. Just kind of see where we're at. Go from there. They seem like these top loaders for some reason. They're standard top loaders. For some reason this batch is a little thicker than normal, I think. Thick like that, and you just kind of tap them down in there. One good thing about low grade vintage stuff is you don't have to like baby it. You can handle it. That's what I like about it. I like working with low grade vintage stuff. It's like a piece of history. But yeah, you don't have to like be super careful. I mean, you try to be careful, but because it'll always get, like, you start out with like inventory that's like 3s and 4s, and if you take that to, let's say like you take that to shows for a year, suddenly that inventory that's left over is like 2s and 3s, maybe. there we go. 23 cards. All right, let's see here. This is eBay inventory. And this is other stuff. So I'm going to go through and pull the better stuff out of this box and add it to this that I just priced. And some hockey. I might put that in there just because. '71 checklists, 71 leaders. It's perfect. Don Sutton, Tom Seaver, Johnny Bench, Jim Palmer. Anything with a name. These are unmarked checklists. Probably worth more than what I've got on there, to be honest. But so all needs to. It's all got to go so I can buy more stuff. Fergie, Ozzie Smith, second year. This is good stuff. I think this left side of this row is like bigger name stuff, and then the right side is like kind of cheaper stuff. Oh, Super Action Larry Bird. Do I have 3 of those? Because I know I had one that I sold on eBay or in person maybe. And another one. I sold one on eBay and I sold one in person. And I've still got 2 of them. I got 3 of those second year Ozzie Smiths. But it all came in like, all this stuff came together in a collection. So, like, not as well-known guys. Kind of commons that I don't like really. Oh shit, these aren't even priced. What the heck? Must be dollar cards. I'm not putting that stuff out. For a few different reasons. One, it's because it's not priced. The main, or like another reason, and people might not like this reason, but if you're not a vintage dealer, like if I put out a box of commons and somebody sits down like they're trying to finish out a set, they're gonna go through that whole box. They're gonna be sitting there for like an hour, and there's a good chance they pull out like 2 cards. So they've just tied up that inventory for an hour of the show, and they spend $5 or maybe $10, which I'm not like. I'm thankful for their $5 or $10, but it's like, those bargain boxes. It's like, that's it. It's kind of like it's kind of frustrating. Like other people would have sat down at that box if you hadn't been sitting there. So, kind of costing me money. You have to rent it out. Not really, but it can be a little frustrating. I mean, there's literally people that will sit down for more than an hour, like 2 or 3 hours, and spend $10. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Some leaders cards with some stars. MVP cards. Here's a quiz for you. Who was the National League most valuable player in 1950? Anyone? Bet you can't guess it. I'm gonna give you a little time. Just gonna Google. It's a relief pitcher. Credited with 16 wins and chosen to start the first game. What? Oh. Had 74 appearances. Chosen to start the first game of the World Series. Well, anyways. Jim Constanti. Can't stand ya. Can't stand ya. Those MVP cards are good cards. I like sell. People need them. Subsets and such. Not Sandy Koufax, Connor. Jim Constanti. Jim Constanti. Jackie Jensen, Al Rosen. Any team cards are good. Like I say, any big name stars. Some 73s, some 75s. Another one of those leader cards. Empty boxes that I just keep for here's all those MVP cards. Like those are pretty much all different. That one might be the same. There's some duplicates, but there's a lot of them. Those MVP cards from 75. Those are cool. If I remember right, there's not much in this right-hand row. There's a little bit. Johnny Podres, Rocky Colavito, Vita Pinson, Guy LaFleur. There we go. Some more hockey. Some decent stuff on this side. I'm not going to go through and organize this very much. It's just one vintage box that I'll put out and let people have at it. I've got some 50s stuff that I'll put with it, but golly, Reggie Jackson's, Nolan Ryan's. I was wrong. There is some good stuff. I might have put this box out. Maybe I had another box that was like more common stuff. And I put this whole box out. So I think that's a high number. Jackie Hernandez, 1970. Tops. Excuse me. Yeah, this is all good stuff. It's like 70s, even some early 80s stuff, but it all sells. Johnny O'Brien. Andy Pafko. Leave that one in. I'll leave both those in. They're 56s. Golly, there's gotta be. Yeah, I've gotta be getting to the end of the named, like, bigger name players. Yeah. Tony Kubek, Yankee. Jose Askew. Kozlowski, Red Sox team card, Cleveland Warriors. Some decent stuff. Oh, crap. Let's show you all a little trick here in a minute. Once I get through this. I think we're getting to the end of the decent, like, name players. Harvey Keene. Tito Francona. That's decent. Tito Francona. 1961 tops. Tito Francona. Can't remember. Who did Tito Francona? Francona. Oh, Terry Francona. That's us. I was like, I know that guy's not like a manager right now, but I feel like he is. Terry Francona is the Guardians manager, his son. Some more subset stuff. SSLs. Yeah, nobody's got no shot at 1950. I mean, Mike Leatherman might know that. Jim Constanti was the MVP in 1950, but probably only him. He's the only person I think would know that. I mean, there's other people out there, but not many. Bunch of 1961 tops, cheap stuff. Manager cards. Bill Rigney manager card. Was Bill Rigney an MVP one time? American League infielder and manager, 26-year big league veteran. The Giant from 46 to 53, and then spent 18 seasons as manager of 3 different clubs. Is Bill Rigney maybe a Hall of Famer as a manager? Probably not. No, 48.4 win-loss percentage, so probably not. I don't know why I thought maybe he was. I don't know. Bill Rigney, ladies and gentlemen. Dick Groat, Cardinal, Gaylord Perry. Oh, there's some more stuff. All right, so that is that, and then what I'm gonna do, I think, put this box in here as a spacer. I don't want to use this vault box because it takes up too much room. That's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, as weird as this sounds, people won't look at this box as much because the walls are up. I swear to God, people will go through this shorter box and for some reason, like, will not reach in here. Like, they don't have as much desire to reach in and look through this box because of this 2-inch of cardboard sticking up. This is the weirdest thing, but I know it's true. I mean, I haven't done any major studies on it, but pretty sure that is the case. The way it seems to me. People are weird. But I do have some stuff. Barry! What's up, sister? I'm gonna be on here for a while. I gotta get ready for this show, and I just thought I'd hang out while I was getting ready. So I'll probably be on here for a while. Not really doing anything I wouldn't be doing anyway, so I might as well have YouTube on. Get some watch time, some subscribes. So these are like 52, like low grade 52 tops and 53 tops. There's some decent stuff, but I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like, do I take? Oh, that's decent. George Shaw. What is that? Are these 56s? I think they are. 1956 George Shaw. These, I think those are 56s. I don't know my football as well. 56 George. Yeah, 56 George Shaw. $7. This one's at $3. That's kind of beat up. That makes sense, I guess. 55 Topps Hal Newhouser. That's actually a short print. That's a good card. $10. The VG for $10. Rube Walker, another rookie or short print. I can't remember if that's Hal Newhouser's rookie. It's not his rookie. Definitely not his rookie, but that card goes for quite a bit. Rube Walker, that might be. No, that's not his rookie either. This is just a short print. 56 William Harridge, the commissioner, president of the American League. Yeah, all this stuff can go. All this stuff. So, how am I going to... I'll just put it in that FCC box. I think these will fit in here. I think I can put all these together. Maybe. Not very well. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Because these card savers don't fit in these short 2 rows. Yeah, Barry. That's one thing I plan to do. Like, I'm gonna do more of these live streams and just kind of hang out. But I'll definitely do some where I'm listing on eBay and kind of show people how I go through that, and actually some different things that probably people don't know about as well. Just my day-to-day kind of whenever I've got some time that I need to sit down and get some stuff done, then I'll probably go live and make it a learning experience for all of us. Some better 52 Topps. 51. I don't have a lot on my eBay right now. Connor is quickly became a member of our card show friend group, the Kansas City. We need a mascot. We need a team for all of us KC folks that go around to these shows, like the Kansas City. Gosh, I was gonna say Guardians, but that's all already taken by the Cleveland Spiders. The Kansas City, gosh, what's like a Kansas City Panthers? Because we're relentless in our attack of sports cards. I don't know, something. We definitely need a mascot. So I don't have a lot of stuff listed right now. At least not a lot for me. Ooh, let's see. I've got offers. Open to offers. LeBron James, lime green out of 149, $25. We'll counter that, but that's too low. Countered at 50. Got it at 55, which is a little high, but if somebody doesn't counter back off $25, I'm not selling it for $25. So LeBron James, T minus insert lime green out of 149. I mean, it's probably worth $40. So I'd probably sell it for that, but something like that, you just price a little high. It's weird. Some stuff I price at comps on eBay. Some stuff I price a little higher. Some stuff I price quite a bit higher. Do I like the new eBay seller interface? I like it. I like it for multiple listings. I think it's faster, and that's one of the things I want to run through one of these times. That's normally what I use is for multiple listings. I do not like how they changed the single listing interface. It's way slower to do just one listing than it used to be. It used to be pretty fast. Like the multiple listing interface is faster, but the single listing slower. And they used to be about the same. It's really weird. I don't know. Like a lot of internet companies do that where they here again, $25 for AJ Dillon, Orange Laser PSA 10. It's a $50 card, $55 card. Let's come back at 55. I get a lot of these like trolls. That's the way I look at people on eBay that just go through and just send out a ton of like random lowball offers. Have I seen my eBay traffic stay steady or decline recently? I think it's pretty steady. It seems pretty steady to me. Bigger cards are harder to move. Cards over $100 are harder to move. It's been pretty steady though. As long as I'm listing new stuff on a regular basis, like every few days or every week, the more new stuff I list, the more often, the more regularly I list new stuff, the better my sales are, kind of. But also, like last weekend, sales were awesome. The weekend before that, Labor Day weekend, sales were really good. Anytime there's a holiday on like a Monday, or anytime there's a holiday, sales are good, and has been my experience. And also, I have a theory that with kids going back to school, like my overarching theory is that the number one hobby in America is spending money. I think people spend money for all kinds of different reasons, but that's the number one hobby. Like, they don't have to have a reason. They spend money because they like are depressed. They spend money because they're happy. They spend money because it's an addiction. Like, they spend money because something good happened. They spend money because something bad happened. So with kids going back to school and parents' lives becoming kind of, changed because of that back to school, and maybe became a little more complicated for a week or so, or 2 weeks, I feel like sales went up with that in Labor Day quite a bit. And I feel like it's people saying that they owe themselves something, like treating themselves to something because, they're having all this stress and stuff. And definitely people spend money to deal with stress. So I don't know. It's a theory. I think there's something to it, but who knows? I just think it's interesting. I definitely think it's important to like break that habit of like just spending money to spend money. Some sales, a couple Manals, and a Bobby Miller auto. Let's see here. Listings. What do I have listed right now? Just go through the good stuff. Magic Johnson. We got it 700. Let's just go through price, high to low. See ya, Barry. I probably won't be on here till 4 a.m., but I'll be on here for a while. All right, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, that Tatis. These are better pictures of these cards. It's that Stance Sock Tatis 101. Pretty cool. Even though Tatis stuff is probably tanked for a while. This is an interesting card. So this is a 2013 Black Friday Kobe Bryant Lava Flow. These are super short printed, like less than 10, but they're not numbered, and nobody knows that they're short printed that much. So this card sold like last September, there was 2 sales over $500. But like that card, let's say we value that card at $250. I'm probably going to try to, like, let's say that there's a possibility that card sells for $250. Like, so few people know about that card and like are motivated to buy it. Like a Panini Black Friday. Like, it's not like you're building the set. Like, it's only Kobe super collectors that want that card. And there are definitely lower sales than that, like $50 to $100. But there are higher sales like $300, $400, $500. It's probably an auction card, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. If I'm buying that card, I'm paying like $30 for it probably. Like, I'm trying not to buy that card, honestly. But it came as part of another like collection basically, and it didn't really add that much to it. So I've got it listed at $200. Just take offers, but there's no watchers right now, so it's whatever. So Ramondre Stevenson, cracked ice auto. There's a Juju gold, Juju Smith-Schuster gold out of 10. Gridiron Kings rookie Gridiron Kings gold out of 10. Amir Smith-Marset gold Obsidian out of 10. That's a cool card that I've had for a while. Another one of them that's hard to sell. Like, rare stuff is hard to sell, kind of. Joe Montana, black and red checkerboard, 56 Ernie Banks, green scope, McCole Hardman Prism rookie auto out of 75, 93 Finest Jordan, Ramondre Stevenson Honeycomb, Van Jefferson 101 plates and patches, Trout Pujols Pure Power Triple Threads relic, and Josh Hamilton. Don't forget about Josh Hamilton. Doesn't exactly carry the card, but it's pretty cool. A lot of this stuff I got last weekend. I bought really well last weekend. Yeah, that's most of the cool stuff. There's a Mark Grace out of 9 from Triple Threads. 2,445 knocks. I think that's his career. Mike was telling me this. I didn't know this. Mark Grace had more hits than any other player in the 1990s. It's crazy. Let's see. I'm constantly like I'll take stuff down for shows so that I'm not selling the same inventory twice and putting stuff back up in between shows. I'm doing so many shows now that I pretty much only put like bigger stuff up. Stuff out of my showcase. Like, there's probably some cheaper stuff in here. Oh yeah, there is. Oh, most of it's that vintage stuff. It's cheaper. Because I just leave that at home. I'm not going to this time. I'll probably shut eBay down for a couple days and just wait till I come back from the show and reload whatever I've got left. Yeah, slabs. I've got some cheap slabs on there just because they're really easy to list and they sell well. Other than that, the only thing that's not a cheap slab or vintage, $20. So $20 and up stuff. I've got other $20 and up stuff, but I haven't got it out and put it back on. Going back and forth, it's kind of to shows. Makes it hard to keep up with eBay, so a lot of times I'll just take stuff down, put up the higher price stuff, and then when I get around to it, when I've got a gap or something, like after this show, I'm gonna have like 2 weeks, and so Monday I'll probably just go through and just like list everything that I've got that's like $10 and up. Some of it's still in the system, so I can just relist it. But a lot of it will probably be new listings, inventory I've gotten that I haven't put up yet. So that's how I do it. Definitely not everybody does it that way. That's what I mean, I can't even say that's what works for me. That's how I do it. Let's put it that way. It could very well change. I was hoping I could just put vintage stuff on, leave it on eBay, and then not be taking that stuff to shows, but it's probably not going to be the case. Probably just have to put whatever. Just do it like I've been doing it. Probably should go through and sort this stuff kind of, but yeah, we'll see if I get time. Just do what you can. So that's the vintage box. That's done. That's ready. Card saver vintage. That's ready. This is showcase stuff. That's ready. Cheap slab box. That's ready to go. Oh, I need to pull that stuff that has been bought on eBay. So I'm not loading that up. Mantle Gold, Mantle Thrills, Bobby Miller. eBay definitely, like, the big change in sales is like weekdays to weekends, and it didn't used to be as significant, but I would say, like, no matter how much prep you do, somebody will always ask for something you didn't bring. Yeah, for sure. And I do give my cards out and my number and stuff. But, like, if it's somebody building a set, and I hate to be this way because I really want to support the hobby, but if somebody's just going to send me their set list and I don't have, like, partial sets laying around, it's kind of the same thing. Like, this person needs 100 cards for this set. Am I going to go through this whole list and pull the 5 cards I have? I mean, it's one thing if I have like 50 of them and it's, 63 tops and 20 of them are high numbers and it ends up being, $300 or $400 worth of cards. But a lot of times it's like 73 tops and I've got like 10 of them and it ends up being like $20 worth of cards. So I try to support the hobby as much as I can, but I can't charge somebody $20 more than what this stuff's worth just to pay for an hour of my time, or $30 more. And I can't do stuff for free. So, I don't even know why I feel the need to share that. It's not really that big a deal, but I wish I could do more of that. I wish I had better organized and had it to where it was profitable for me, but it's just not right now. But yeah, people always ask for the stuff that you got at home, for sure. Golly, it is a Wednesday night. The low ballers are out in force. I don't like declining offers. I would rather. I have a feeling that eBay's algorithm takes into account if you decline a lot of offers. So I'll usually just make a counter offer of a price that I'm willing to do. And like if they like I came he offered me 10 on a 25 card I've got at $25. If he comes back at I countered at 22. If he comes back at 12, I'll probably go to 20 and be like, hey, thanks for your offers. This is my low on this card. If he comes back at 12 again, then I'll just decline it or whatever. I'm not going to get in a pissing match with somebody that wants to like beat me up over a $20 card. But I try not to decline stuff unless they're just being unreasonable. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes my price is just way too high for recent comps. Let's see here. All right, on to the next thing. Oh, you want to see something cool? I got this thermal label printer. This thing's awesome. I don't know if y'all have ever. I mean, you probably have. They use them for like, warehouses and stuff like that. But it'll print like a label every second. Like it'll print like 60 labels a minute, and it doesn't use any ink. And the labels are cheap, especially if you buy them in bulk, compared to like labels for a regular printer, or plus ink and everything else. Yeah, I like the thermal label, and this one was $80 on Amazon. It's I don't even know what they call it. I don't even know if it has a brand name, but it works good. You can look. I can't remember. I've got the box somewhere. I gotta go get some stuff. I'll be right back. A cup of coffee going. So these are $4 boxes. Yeah, Rolos. Yeah, for sure. Like I've been wanting one of those for a long time. And the regular printer labels work fine, but it's just like time to transition. Golly. I don't go through these very often just because I go from show to show. Like there's a Davy Garcia Prism rookie auto out of 99 in this $4 box. I sell these for $4 or 10 for 30. So going through this, it's like some stuff's not surprising that it hasn't sold, but some stuff definitely is. Like that card should have sold probably. That's a $2 card now. It's football. So I'm going through, I'm just like weeding some stuff out that's maybe like shouldn't be in there. And then, golly, Shane Bieber Topps Chrome rookie. I feel like that is more than that, but apparently not. Alex Bregman Topps Chrome rookie. I've been at that Dallas show twice with these and it hasn't sold. It's weird. Trey Turner, Ginter, Allen and Ginter rookies. It's weird, the stuff people buy and the stuff people don't buy. Ozzy Albies, Corbin Burns Chrome rookie. Wander Franco Bowman rookies. We've got a lot of good stuff in here. If I don't say so myself. JD Davis Turkey Red out of 50. O'Neal Cruz Bowman Chrome Insert Refractor. Michael Kopech Pink Refractor. Oh, it's got a crease. I wonder if somebody did that. I don't think that had that when I put it in there. At least if so, I didn't see it. But somebody creased that card. They did. Well, one for the trash heap. Not a big deal. Bunch of Luis Robert rookies. Ooh. Really? Senshu Chu rip card out of 75. It's ripped, but it's got the card with it. Dustin Pedroia. I wonder if that's a Brooklyn back. Pedroia. No, just a base. That's a rip card for you. Rip a $150 card and get a 50-cent card out of it. And turn your $150 card into a $4 card. Griffey Bowman rookie. Kind of beat up, but still. Yeah, it's just weird. Stuff people buy and the stuff they don't buy. Put a lot of relics and autos in these. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they don't. Just depends. But people always buy stuff out of these. It's still a lot of football, but these $3 and $4 boxes definitely do good. They do well. I'm starting to make more $2 boxes now, though, too, because I need to get rid of that stuff. There's a Trey Turner bat relic. Michael Taylor is Royal, but it's a Topps Chrome Prism rookie. Prism Refractor. Bunch of Topps Chrome autos. Jim Thome minor league card. Stuff's pretty. Go through and pull the football. Leave everything else. Hey Connor, there's some Rafael Devers rookies. Inside joke. Oh, Bertram Grover Weeks from the Sandlot. 3K poorly spent on Devers. Yeah, he's better than he gets credit for, that's for sure. I don't know why. Like, Boston's a good team. I mean, really doesn't make much sense why stuff would be so cheap. I mean, not that it's just super cheap, but it's pretty cheap for how good he is. He's had a lot of people showing him up lately. Like last year, he was in the MVP discussion. I think he was for a while this year. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, Kellenic base rookie worth like nothing anymore. Mike has, the way Mike says his theory is that like people will spend a bunch of money prospecting on a player, and if they get burnt and they lose money on that player, then they'll just never invest in that player ever again. It's just, which makes sense, and I think he's right. Like, I think he's pretty right on that. That no matter what that player does, they'll just like. So it's like Byron Buxton. Like, his cards will never be highly desirable because so many people have got burnt betting on Byron Buxton. Connor, turns out the old guy across from you didn't have that good of prices either. What do you mean? The stuff I pulled out of there was pretty good. Just list everything. Just list everything for $4.99. Some of it's gonna sell for like $3 or $4. Like, I know it's not a lot, but I mean, if you want to do that, and one of these times when I'm live streaming, I'll go through and like show you how I like do mass listings sometime. Because like if I do, I mean, even with that new eBay multiple listing format, I mean, I can do 50 an hour if I've got everything set up right. And it's all the same stuff. Like, if it's all modern baseball and there's, I've got 300 of them, then I'm definitely getting through those in less than 6 hours. But a lot of that stuff anymore, like these $4 boxes sell really well. So a lot of the time I'm going through those dollar boxes just for looking for stuff that I know will sell, like jerseys, and if I can find, I'll buy any jersey, any relic, pro uniform, relic or auto, for $1. Like, anyone I can find, everyone that I can find. Holy crap. Oh, that's second year. Tony Gonsolin, sepia refractor. That was a rookie. I'm like, that's too cheap. Some football. People are like terrible at keeping things in order. More football, more foosball. Did I end up liking Whatnot? I don't like selling on Whatnot. Just the act of selling on Whatnot, I don't enjoy. So, no, like, I didn't enjoy it. And in order to, like, I think in order to be profitable with Whatnot, there's two things that work on Whatnot. I mean, if you got a ton of followers, that's one thing, but there's a few things that work, but there's mainly like two things that work. If you don't have access to cheap hobby wax, Besides like mystery packs do well if you can get them all sold. There's ways of doing those well. Cheap cards, like lot up a bunch of dollar cards that are maybe worth like $2 or $3. Like lot up 5 of them and start them at, or I mean, lot up 3 of them and start them at $5, or lot up 5 of them and start them at $10. You can do that. Or one thing that works good with Whatnot is if you can buy things that you know specifically will sell well on Whatnot. So if somebody brings me a box of 50 slabs and they're all, even if they're trash like cards, like, you know, PSA 9 base cards, if they're all big names, let's say they're all Lucas and LeBrons and Brady's and, you know, like whoever, you know, and I get into them, let's say they're like worth like anywhere from $5 to $30, and I'm into them at $5 to $10 a piece. I can take that box, 50 or 100 slabs or something, and go and sell it on Whatnot, and I will make money, and it will all be sold within 2 hours. Maybe you got 5 hours with shipping and everything. As somebody starting on Whatnot, like those are the two things that work that you don't have to pay to do. Like otherwise, you're losing money. Like if you've got 20 people viewing your stream and you're trying to sell cards that are $50 or $100, like good luck. Like you're gonna get, at best, you're gonna get like 70% on stuff like that. So those are the two things I feel like do well. But yeah, I don't enjoy the act of selling on Whatnot. Sean, yeah, Whatnot takes a ton of energy to go live. My advantage is I'm selling soccer that nobody else has. That helps. That definitely helps. Nick sells comics on Whatnot, and he does really well. Yeah, supply and demand, and a different collector base. Like one thing I learned from going to Collecticon this weekend is, like, most of those people, like I would say a vast majority of people that are buying cards, whether it's Pokemon, definitely Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. If they're buying Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, they're collectors. You know, they're gamers, they're collectors. They're not trying to flip those cards. Like they're planning on, unless it's the dealers, like they're planning on owning those cards. And everybody's just selling at market. Like there's no, hey, you know, hey, what's the cheapest you'll sell this for? It's like if it's a $25 card, it's like $25. That's the cheapest I'll sell it for. I could be wrong. That's just analytical, or what do they call that? And like evidence, where it's just your like experiential evidence. They have a name word for it, but I can't think of it. But yeah, so but on Whatnot, a lot of people sitting on in their recliner with their phone next to them, and it's running, but they're only in your stream whenever they hear a card that they want that's cheap. Like that's the only time they're picking up that phone and getting in your stream. Like actually paying attention or bidding on something. Golly, there's a lot of good cards in these baseball boxes. What are people doing? The other thing is, like, my $2 boxes, I am all of them are going in top loaders. Stuff sells so much better in top loaders than if it's not on a top loader. People will look through those, even anecdotal. Sean, you're so smart. You are, but yeah, anecdotal evidence. Yeah, like people will go through those boxes of if they're top loaded, but if they're not top loaded, they won't even look at them. A lot of people. Some people, the hardcore people will, but like 5 times as many people will go through them if they're top loaded. You'll sell 5 times as much. Jeez. I can't believe I still have all this stuff. People should be buying this. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's not all good, but there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff that should have sold by now. Anyways, that's just me complaining. Not complaining, you know. A lot of stuff I could put up. A lot of stuff in this box I could put up at $9.99 on eBay. And I bet if I listed this whole box at $9.99 on eBay, I bet in 2 weeks, 20% of it would sell at an average of $6. I bet. I would sell 20% of it. So if there's 500 cards in this box, 100 of them would sell. I would sell $600 out of this box in 2 weeks. I bet. If I listed every card in here at $9.99. And at some point I might do that. I don't know. This is the stuff that's kind of like that borderline stuff. Because a lot of this stuff, I know I could get like $8 for it on eBay. But if I sell it for $8 and I pay myself $1 to list it and $1 to ship it, and they charge fees on shipping, so that's, you know, sells for $8 and there's $4 shipping costs, so they're taking 12%. Let's say I've got a 2% promotional fee, so they're taking 14% on $12, which is like $1.60 plus 50 cents in shipping materials. So there's $2. There's $4 off. There's some other hidden costs in there, but so I'm getting $4 for that $8 card. So whenever I'm going to buy collections, I mean, when we're setting it up, I tell people like anything under $10 I buy for 25%. So it's like jerseys and autos that I'm gonna put in my $4 box. If I think it's a $4 card or $5 card, I'm paying $1 because it's not easy to sell. Like, it takes a long time. I'm not gonna have money invested in it. And honestly, that's a pretty fair price for stuff that's $10 and less. Some people, I think, some people would probably disagree, but they can hold on to it, I guess. I mean, I'm not mad at them. I'm not gonna buy it for more than that. Be right back. Got a cup of coffee waiting on me. Actually, some guy came up in Dallas and bought my whole box. box of basketball $4 cards. I'm making. I gave him a really good deal on them. It's 9 o'clock. Why am I drinking coffee? Because I get up at noon and I work till 4, Connor. It's like, for a normal person, it's like 4 in the afternoon for me compared to like my day. Don't coffee shame me, Connor. Don't you be coffee shaming me. I started doing these $4 boxes like, let's say, 3 months ago, probably. And I bet I've sold 2,500 $4 cards in 3 months. So at an average of 250, probably sold 6 or 7 grand in $4 cards. It's called being proactive. Barry knows what's up. She's got the same schedule as I do. Barry knows what's up. Don't be so high and mighty, Connor, with your normal sleep schedule. Ooh la la. I wake up before 10 a.m. Look at me. You know, I've never been a morning person. I don't like sleeping till noon, really. I mean, I do it if I'm up till 4 or 5 working. I'll do it because I make it's really important to me that I get 8 hours of sleep. So I will if that's the case. But I prefer being up around like 9 or 10. That's like the sweet spot for me. Like from work till about 2. Sleep from about 2 to 10. Very. I woke up at 1 today. I was up till 5 a.m. this morning, and then I knew I needed to get up decently early tomorrow. I always like plan ahead when I know I have to get up like before noon, which is kind of funny, but I do. So I got up at I set my alarm for like 11:30 this morning. So I slept like 6.5 hours, so that I could get to bed like, 2 o'clock tonight and get up around 10 in the morning. And there's not a lot I have to do. But then Friday morning for the show, I got to be up at like 7. so there's no point in like I try not to torture myself and just like wait till tomorrow night and try to be going to bed at midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 6 or 7. Not really trying to do that, so I'd rather just get ahead of the game a little bit. Yeah, the last 2 Dallas shows, these $4 boxes have really paid the bills. Sean said he's seen, he's drinking the Maker's Mark, which makes the stream more interesting. But said you said seen a lot of people say they were disappointed with the last Dallas show. So this is my take on Dallas. It's definitely getting slower every show since probably February of last year. It's getting slower, and it should. The market's falling off. It cost me $800 to $1,000 to set up at Dallas for that show with table fees, hotel, gas, all that. I mean, that's my cost. I need to sell $5 grand at that show to break even. There's other things that come into play as far as if I can buy well, or if I can, if I'm selling stuff that I bought at the show, then I'm getting turnover. But either way, I need 5,000 in sales to make that show worth doing. If I sell 5 grand, you take 800 to 1,000, you take 1,000 out of that, and then that 4,000 that's left, or let's just say out of that 5,000, let's say I'm into that stuff at 60%, which is what I would hope if I'm selling this $4 stuff and bigger stuff, showcase stuff. Let's say I'm into it at 60%, so I make 40%. So I made 2 grand, and I've got 800 to $1,000 coming out of that. Just baseline 5 grand in sales. I'm making $1,000 for that 4-day show. So it's not really a weekend. It's more of like a week, 60 hours between. I figured it between driving from where I'm at, 7 hours there and 7 hours back, 3 nights in a hotel, but being at my table and driving 60 hours in 4 days, 15 hours a day. So if I'm not making a grand at that show, then it's not worth doing. Now, my plan, the roundabout answering that question, but my plan is I'll bring more inventory. If the show continues to kind of slow down, but I go from bringing 25,000 to 35,000 to $50,000 in inventory, then I should be able to maintain those sales. And I'm constantly getting, return customers, people that are coming back every show and buying from me. And so that kind of builds on itself, and helps out a lot. Like I had close to $1,000 in returns customers and sales to return customers last show. And that's huge. I'm wondering if the people complaining were the ones who only focus on the high dollar cards. I feel like the 1K cards are really slow, but the $5 to $20 cards are selling strong. I think you're definitely right about that, for sure. If it's dealers complaining, there's lots of reasons dealers fail at shows. So, but if you want to sell stuff and you put the work in, like you'll do fine in Dallas. It's still a great show. Yeah, the cheap stuff, like I didn't sell. Hit Parade. I know the guy that buys for Hit Parade. He came by and spent like $1,200, which helped out a lot. I'm not gonna lie, like out of showcase stuff and a lot of stuff that was kind of hard for me to move, and I was really glad that he came by and spent some money. I mean, it was good stuff. It was stuff he needed, and it was at good prices. But I was really glad he came by. I'm really grateful for that. Other than that, like showcase stuff hasn't sold for me at any of the last 4 shows I've been at. I mean, I've sold a few cards, but mainly it's stuff that's like $50 and under. I know I've sold or traded out a couple cards over $100, not very many, and I don't have a huge showcase, but I might have, 10 cards in that showcase that are over $100, 10 or 15 that are over $100. I mean, and just over 4 shows, and one of them being Dallas. Outside of Hit Parade, I've probably only sold, say, 3 cards. Actually sold and took in cash for cards over $100. So that's definitely fallen off. And if you're sitting there, and I've been saying that for several shows, like you go around to Dallas and you see these guys that have $100,000 in one showcase. Good luck. Like, and that's what I mean. I mean, good luck, because hopefully you don't have anything in that stuff. You've made it all in the last couple of years, because that stuff is coming down. It is falling, and it has been for a year. And if that's the same inventory you had 6 months ago or a year ago, you're definitely in trouble. I mean, maybe you're not because you don't have anything in it. You're free of it. But I would hate to be in that position where it's like, okay, I sell a $10,000 card at 90%. Let's say I sell a $10,000 card. Let's say 95%, because a lot of those bigger cards they sell well if you find the right person. But say I sell it for 9,500, and I got to go buy that card back. What am I going to get it for? 85% maybe. 8,500, and then wait another 6 months to find somebody to buy that $10,000 card. Like there's nothing wrong with being in that market, but you got to have people you can move that stuff to, or get it up on eBay or something to have a way of buying it right. I would not want to be in that market, because what saves me at that Dallas show is the stuff that's $10 and under. If I sell $2,000 worth of stuff that's $10 and under, which I do at the last few I've been to, I'll sell $2,000 worth of, $10 mainly for, like I probably sold $2,000 worth of $4 cards, to be honest, at that last show. The most I've gotten any of these is $1. These $4 cards, that's the most I've got. So, if I sold $2,000 and it averages $250, and I'm averaging into those somewhere between 50 cents and 75 cents, I've made whatever that is, what's I've made my $1,000 in costs. Like that paid for my costs right there. And anything else I sell. So basically that pays for my costs. Anything else I'm selling it's hard to explain how I look at it, but like if I sell $5,000 and I look at it as I've got $1,000 in costs, then I'm already at 80% before I start giving discounts. I've only got 4,000 in sales to show for it because of my $1,000 in costs. So if I've sold, if I sell $6,500 in inventory and I give discounts down to $5,000 in sales, but really I only get to see $4,000 of that, then suddenly, I've sold $6,500 at 60%. And I'm breaking even. I mean, I got to go and buy that stuff back. But if I'm selling, half of it out of these $10 and under cards, and I'm into it at 25%, then I'm doing really well. So it really helps me. I agree. High dollar cards you hold in inventory crush your cash flow. Yeah, for sure. There's nothing wrong with enjoying those, have them in your collection, your inventory, whatever. But this is not the market to think that 6 months down the road that card's going to go up. That's, in my opinion, gambling at best. If you're into a $10,000 card at $6,000, I'd flip it for $8 as quick as I possibly could. 7,500 even. Just do that. That's what Barry does, and Chuck and them. They're really good at it, but I think that's what you got to do. If those guys with those $100,000 case, if they're complaining, that means they're not doing well on it. If they're not doing well on it, it's because they're sitting there holding on to it. They're not coming down on their prices. They're not flexible, and most of this is people I think success in being a sports card dealer is back to the way it was before 2020, where this is what you have to do. You got to buy collections, process them. There's a lot of work that goes along with it. Even in like with Barry and Chuck, if they're investing in higher dollar cards, there's a lot of work that goes along with that. You got to be constantly on auction sites and Instagram and messaging people back and forth and making deals and all that stuff. It's all a lot of work. This is the type of work that I'm an introvert. This is the type of work that I enjoy. Yeah, people are scared to take a loss. If I know that card's not going back up, it's gone. I don't care. Whatever the market is, if I paid $400 for a $500 card. Now that $500 card's worth $350. I'm getting my $350 if I can. I'm going to get whatever I can out of it because I want to remobilize that money. It's all about cash flow. As long as I can take that $300 and I can buy $500 worth of stuff with it and try to sell that, then eventually I'll make my way back. But if I just hold on to that $350 card, then that money never gets mobilized. It never gets gained. It never comes back. It does, but not till you're able to sell that. And there's nothing saying it's going to go back up. So once I know I'm underwater, I just jump ship and remobilize that money in a better way. I understand that I'm going to make mistakes. And if I do, I've gotten good at, because I had to pay my bills. I couldn't afford to be prideful in it. And you just I just take it as a loss and move on and try to make better decisions in the future. Yeah. Sean, thank all the people that spent all off season buying up high dollar Burrow and Trey Lance. Oh my gosh. And then held on to them. I am really glad I didn't intentionally do it, but I was buying that stuff. I wasn't holding it. I was moving it as quick as I possibly could. But I'm so glad that when I was at Dallas that weekend opening of football season, I looked down at my showcase and I'm like, gosh, I don't have any of those high end quarterbacks. I'm like, that's what's up. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm like, it just kind of worked out that way, but I'm glad it did because I don't want to carry those guys into the season. I want to make my percentage and move on without risk. I protect myself from risk by constantly having turnover where that card doesn't have a chance to change in value very much. If I've got a card for a month, I think me and Barry were talking about this. If I've had a card for a month, that sucker's quickly going stale. I need to sell that card. I'm not trying to take a loss on it if the comps are still up there where they were whenever I bought it. But at the same time, that money needs to be consistently put back into motion. Even if it's at 10%, I want to continue to make that 10% over and over and over again and not spend 3 months trying to get my 20 or 30%. That doesn't, it just doesn't work. It's not a theory. It's not, I don't think that works. I know it doesn't work. That's not how business works. Math is a thing. Math and statistics are actually a thing. No matter what people tell you about how statistics lie, they are actually a thing. And if you know how to use them, you can use them to your benefit. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Berries. If I have a card for more than a month that's going to the fireplace, yeah, right. I'm with you, sister. I'm with you. There are some, unless it's this stuff, the $10 and under stuff. I understand when I buy that stuff, it's not going to move super quick. That's why I don't pay much for it. I understand that, so I'm fine. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. But if it's $100 card or a $200 card, no, that's got to go. That thing's got to go. I got a Najee Harris Kaboom that's burning a hole in my pocket. That sucker's got to go. Somebody's got to buy it. I tried to sell it to Barry, and she didn't want a part of it. But yeah. there's that sports card radio. Um, I I have differing opinions on sports card radio. I think that it's really important to have somebody like that that's really nosy and like calls people out on stuff. But along with that, I also think that they are intentionally antagonistic, which is part of it. I mean, that's the personality trait that makes them good at kind of being a bird dog for this hobby. And they've uncovered some really like intricate, important stuff. But one thing that I was watching one of their videos, and one thing he said it really stood true is like, if you're buying a sports card as an investment, then you shouldn't have to look and see what it's selling for. Like, as long as it's a reasonable price, if you're looking at it as an investment, that's a card I'm going to hold for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Then it doesn't matter, as long as it's within, whatever, 10% of what it's selling for, it doesn't matter what the comp is. Like, if that's a card you want that you think is a good buy or whatever, and you're planning on holding that card for 10 years, you're expecting that card 10 years from that $50 difference on $1,000 card, not to be a drop in the bucket compared to where you expect it to be 10 years from now. So I thought that was really interesting. So as far as like short-term sports card investing is not a thing. Flipping is a thing. Being a sports card dealer is a thing. Prospecting is a thing, whether it's like in soccer or it's in baseball or whatever. I mean, it's a thing, but it's tough. I think prospecting's kind of like gambling in that there's like people that are really good at it, but even the people that are really good at it, their success rate's like 56%, where they're like but the 6% that they're or their like win rate or whatever, their like margin, whatever. Maybe 5 to 10% of the guys that they bet big on actually come through big and are superstars, and that 5 to 10% more than makes up for the 90% that are just kind of meh. I mean, probably that 90%, like 50% of those guys, you get your money back. The other 30%, maybe you lose a little bit, but that 5 to 10% that you hit on, you really hit big. So that's a thing. But like short term, like in sports card investing in a down market, I don't think is a method of being successful at making money in sports cards. Yeah, would be the way I look at it. I spent a lot of money ripping wax last year. Yeah, that's an understatement. And in a way, I'm happier I did that because I would have been pissed if I spent $2,500 on a Luka base Prism PSA 10. Yeah. Yeah, I was throwing a fit when I first started this channel. I got so much hate because I was just throwing a fit about Luka, even though I think he's the best player that we've seen in 30 years. I was throwing a fit about people spending these prices on a card that has a pop count of 15,000 at the time. Now it's closer to 20. And getting so much hate from people that just didn't understand the dynamics of not just the sports card market, but of any market, like of any economic, any market. Supply and demand is a thing. So you look at a similar commodity, such as like a LeBron James rookie that has a pop count of 2,500 at a PSA 10 and is selling for, say, $2,500. And then you look at Luka that has 8 times that population and is selling for the same money. It's like, no, that's not how things work. So, yeah, I can vividly remember like right the day after Christmas, 2020 is when Lucas topped out at like there was a couple sales at like 2,500 for base Prism PSA 10s, and then just from there and then on out, it was just downhill the whole way. Yeah. This stuff's still gonna sell good. Yeah, what's up with Joe Burrow and the Bengals? Did they lose that much help? I mean, they're not. I mean, they're not just losing; they're playing badly. I think this stuff's all good. What do you all think of Dante Pettis? I just got a Prism Gold. Actually, it's this card. I don't know if it's a 9 or a 10. This card sold for $30. He had that 51-yard touchdown the other day. I got it in a deal with Mike. That just seems so cheap. I mean, I know he's not a big player, but oh wait, that might be because the label's wrong, right? Yeah, it says Donruss Optic. That's weird. Rookie introduction Prisms Gold Mojo 10. That's obviously a Panini Prism rookie introductions Dante Pettis. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Joe Dirt's a better coach than Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor to the Bengals is like Mike McCarthy to the Packers. Apparently. I don't know if y'all heard, but the Royals, I'm sure y'all heard, they fired Dayton Moore, their general manager. Been there for like forever. This is a kind of a big deal. Because he did really well for him. It's kind of weird because, like, they didn't do well this year, but, like, they're in the position to do well. Like, Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez, Nick Prado are all in the rotation. Like, they're not expected to have amazing rookie years that carry a team to, like, exceed expectations. I mean, he made some good moves, got rid of Carlos Santana, which was a great move in my opinion. Moved Benintendi. I mean, cut the fat and was in a position to add some pieces to not have a chance at the playoffs this year and waste that opportunity to have a good team next year. Like have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs next year. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird that they cut him because I think I mean obviously their record, I would say the responsibility falls on him for how bad, their record was compared to even last year. I mean, it's when it comes down to it, he's at the top, so it's his fault that they had a bad record. But he was, at the same time, he was doing his job and preparing that team to be successful within the budget that they had allowed, that they had available. So, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird. I feel like the Royals ownership kind of was on this. I feel like they were on the same page. That's kind of how they've always done things. But Dante Pettis is on a forward team. This is true. He's on a 4-win team. But also, I think that card is worth quite a bit more than $30. I mean, oh crap, I'm still in full screen mode. What the heck? What am I doing? Yeah, 2017 Donruss Optic. I'm terrible at doing live streams. Donruss Optic. Yeah, they mislabeled it. It might be why it sold so cheap. I don't know. Because there was another one. Hold on. Oh, wait. 2018. Dante Pettis gold out of 10. I think that card's worth more like 50 or 60 bucks. There's an instant impact sold for $5. At 8:45 a.m. on September 17th on a Saturday morning. So that is whatever it is. That sold for $100, a select base 9.5 concourse, not a like anything special. That sold for $100 like a week ago. So I think that card's like a $50 card, probably. I could be wrong, but I don't know what it is about Dante Pettis. I think it's his name. I think it's a really cool name, Dante Pettis. Do I sell anything on my slaps? No, but I know people that like it. I just have never gotten into it. Very, I think if anybody could have an impact on, Patrick Mahomes is a part owner of the Royals. Like he could definitely like spice up the coolness of the Kansas City Royals. And I think having a successful football team does help the Royals get more attention. Not much though. People in baseball don't care about the Royals at all. Like around the country, outside of Kansas City, like nobody knows what's happening with the Kansas City Royals. What's up, curmudgeon? How's it going? I'm gonna go get some more stuff to go through. Get ready. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I think Mike had a whatnot stream tonight. I don't remember what he was selling. Oh, he was doing select breaks, select football breaks. Get out of here, Connor May. Jackson Mahomes should be banned from Kansas City. He's brought shame upon our lands. More cocaine. I would love to see. I would love to see Zach Greinke have a TikTok. Like, just give me your running thoughts on life, Zach Greinke. I would eat that up. Oh yeah, the Packers ayahuasca touchdown dance. That was pretty interesting. These are priced boxes that I'm just going through and making sure that everything's Buy Sport and seeing if there's anything I need to pull out because it's too cheap. Yeah, here's more basketball. Hopefully basketball starts selling. I'll be honest, there just aren't very many basketball collectors out in the world. There never have been. Seemed like there was for a minute, but there never have been a lot of people that actually collect basketball cards. So stuff's kind of hard to sell. This is a good priced box, and I mean it sells, but not super well by any means. Some definitely decent jerseys and autos. That could be a $4 card. What's my off-season basketball buys? I've tried to figure that out because it was Kawhi Leonard Prism rookies when they were like cheap. PSA 10s were like $400, and then they shot up to like 800 in like 2 weeks. Everybody realized how cheap they were. Anthony Davis, I think, is a good buy. See what his stuff's going for. 2012 Prism Anthony Davis. Yeah. I mean, Kawhis are like 800 now. So Anthony Davis being like 280, 300, 330. You know, like that seems kind of cheap. At least Kawhi's had jumped up a lot. What the hell? It's friggin' why? Yeah, 700, 798. But then you go back like 589. I guess in June is when they. I guess it's been a while since they were really cheap. A couple months. I think it was. Barry, I have some firewood for you because of my RJ Hampton National Treasures. Oh, Connor. RJ Hampton National Treasures. Yeah, so let me see if I can get. Oh, I need to log in. What the heck? Did I sign in with Google? Card letter? Oh, there we go. All right, so if we go back, when were they really cheap? Yeah, there's one for $339. That was the bottom, June 22nd. But there for a while. I mean, they were under $500 for a while. Was that? No way. Oh, that's 4,700. Yeah, 339. The last one sold for 713. 675, 660. So they've doubled since June. Just got a $200 offer on my Jared Goff tie dye I got from PWCC. How much did you have in that? Like not that much, right? Like maybe what was it? Like $60. I don't remember. I don't even remember. Yeah, I mean, like it just goes back to Connor's like the basketball market is weird to me. Like people don't want random Hall of Famers like Dwight Howard, but in baseball and football, people will buy Adrian Beltre and Drew Brees. That is true to an extent. Like there just aren't very many basketball collectors. Like Kawhi was huge in 2019. Let's look at this ladder for this card. Let me see here. Okay, let's view all sales of this card. And max date. So oh wait, I want to go 2 years. Okay, so Kawhi PSA 10 in February 2021 was $3,500. But in December 2019, it was $300. So it being back down to $300 is like, I mean, December 2019, he just won the NBA championship, right? Or wait, yeah, right? In 2019, didn't they win the NBA championship in 2019? With the Raptors or whatever. But anyways, so that's so insane. From January 30th, let's see, 2019, $334 in, holy smokes, August, that card sold for $5,000? No way. That's so dumb. Like, this whole thing's dumb. You look at this chart, it's like, duh. Like, duh. But in February 2019, that card was $82. Gosh, that was always a pretty good card. I mean, Kawhi was always a good player, but... So I guess the question is, if you're basketball prospecting, which I actually like to basketball prospect, like, who are those players? Like, Kawhi Leonard, like, he came in 2012, you know? So, like, his cards didn't really start going up until he'd been in the league for like 7 years. So, like, guys that would be similar to that are like Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker, like the guys that are in that time frame. Now, Devin Booker's already a star, but he doesn't really get a lot of credit. I like Brandon Ingram. I like, as far as like kind of guys that have the potential to be star caliber guys. I like Brandon Ingram. Miles Bridges looked really good last year, at the beginning of last year. I don't know if he can put it together again. Miles Bridges looked really good last year for a while. But who else? Darius Garland looks really good, but he's in 2019, so his stuff is just really overprinted. Yeah, Jaylen Brown definitely has that ability, that potential. I'm trying to think of somebody that fits that mold of like a superstar, like a Kawhi Leonard, like a big, like a big forward with like a 40% three point. Bam's my guy. Like, I think if Bam Adebayo had a 3-point shot, even if it was just like 30%, if he was 30% and shot like 2 or 3 times a game and made one of them, like that changes him, because he's one of the top defensive players in the league, like top 10. He's a top 10 defensive player in the league for sure. If he's not first team all defensive player, he's definitely second team. I mean, that guy's insane. If you ever watch a Miami Heat game, that's the thing, people don't watch basketball. Like, there's not basketball collectors People talk about basketball. Most people do not actually watch the game, and that's just, like, I mean, that's just the way it is. Miles Bridges got arrested. Was it Miles Bridges? Maybe. Oh, domestic violence. Eesh. And he's a free agent? Preliminary hearing on felony domestic abuse charges. Ugh. That sucks. It's going to cost him part of the season. Either way, that's terrible. Severely beating his girlfriend in front of their 2 children. Oh. Golly. If he's convicted, he faces up to 12 years in prison. Golly. Just delete the chick's number, dude. Ugh. These guys. That's sad. I mean, ugh. Like, that's a terrible thing he did, but it's like, ugh. Just threw away. Oh, she recorded it. Oosh. Yeah, he's done. That's bad. Yeah, it said in front of their 2 kids. Oh, Miles and Mikal Bridges are not related. Huh. That's terrible. That is a terrible thing for someone to do. Obviously. Like this basketball. Oh, if y'all ever see these came out of the cereal boxes. They're the green, or green reactive out of the cereal box. They're crazy. Like the LaMelo Ball out of there, they're not numbered, but the LaMelo Ball is like, I don't know. I think one of them sold for like $300. They were crazy. They might be coming down, but like even the commons are like worth money. Mosaic basketball, green reactive. And they're not, there's like one per cereal box, and they didn't print a ton of those cereal boxes, but still like $40 for Dirk. $20 for Chris Paul. $1.29 for Tyrese. Oh, that's not the green reactive. That's just the green. $60 for Sadiq Bey. Yeah, CJ LB got $1.25. But anyways. Golly. That's actually cheap compared to what they've been selling for. Like there's some sneaky ones in there. $10 for Devin Vassell, that's too cheap. $60 for Tyrese Maxey. $8 for Patrick Williams. I mean, that's too cheap compared to $60 for Tyrese Maxey. There's $45 for Patrick Williams. So yeah, if you see those in a dollar box, they're worth picking up, even if they're like commons, really. I mean, there's some that sell, like there's DeJounte Murray that sold for $1, but you can definitely get more for them. Just make sure they're the green reactive with like starburst pattern, not just the base green. Hot take. Tyreek Hill is the Steph Curry of football cards. Generational speed and tracking the fastest towards Hall of Fame out of any active receiver. That is a hot take. I would put a word in between hot and take, like maybe garbage. I'm not saying you're wrong, but he's still a position player. Even if he's the best one, he's a mouthy position player. Like, always talks trash, and normally those guys don't hold up very well. Like, where's Des Bryant right now? Where's Chad Ochocinco cards at right now? Like, it's not. That's not the play, I don't think. But interesting. I'm kind of with Barry. I'm with Barry a little bit. You can have all my Tyreek Hills at comps. I only buy stuff that I can pay above comps for. These boxes are so good. Derek Carr, future MVP. That's also a take that is hot. A take that is hot. Derek Carr and his... How many Pro Bowls does Derek Carr have? I thought he only had one, but somebody corrected me and told me he had like more than one, like 2 or 3. Three times Pro Bowler. Derek Carr. 3-time Pro Bowler. With a 65% completion rate. And 2.3 touchdowns to interception, which actually ain't bad. I mean, that's not too bad, I don't think. 92 rating. Well, he's got a 40 QBR this year. So that's a thing that Derek Carr has with Devontae Adams on his team. So yeah, you never know. Maybe he's an MVP. Maybe he's just a P. 3. His refractors are going for 150 and a PSA 10. I'll take that over any Tua, Jalen Hurts, T-Law, Daniel Jones, etc. I do not agree. I would have to, if that's your take on a card that I like, what's your time frame on this? Like, you're gonna buy a Derek Carr and hold it for a year, like 6 months, hoping he wins an MVP. Is that your time frame? It takes a few days to break in a new pair of jeans. Because if that's your take, I would have to question how much you've bought and sold football cards. Derek Carr cards, like, look at Matt Stafford cards, okay? You can buy a Matt Stafford Topps rookie right now for probably like $10. And he won the Super Bowl last year in like dramatic fashion and is very good. He's a very good quarterback. So, yeah. Time frame the rest of his career. I hope you're joking. I really do. Because that is not the play. Derek Carr is not the play. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Maybe he is. He's not, though. This is not the play. Sorry. But famous, or what's Vegas Dave lied to you. Vegas Dave lied to you. The heck is that card at? Whatever. I'm 0 for my last 5 in the next big card. Well, that's why I don't really prospect on stuff. Unless it's something I just really like I'm willing to just have. Like I do have a Bam Adebayo rookie patch auto. That honestly, it's kind of weird because I forget I have that card. That it's just a card that I sit on. Just because I like Bam Adebayo. I don't really look at it as an investment. It's more of I don't know. I like having that card. I've had it for almost a year now, probably, or at least 6 months, and it's just a sunk cost now. I don't even know. That card's never going to be $1,000, probably. I do think Bam Adebayo has a chance to win an MVP. I do. I believe that. He would have to. Some things would have to change. He would have to have a 3-point shot and his mid-range. He would have to start using his mid-range more. They would probably have to change things around to play around him more, and he would have to be willing to take up that banner as far as being that centerpiece for the team. And so far, he hasn't done that yet, but I think he's capable of it. It's just going to require some maturity and development. But this isn't, I'm not saying this to say, that's not an investment card. I'm not planning to get rich off that card. I mainly hold that card just because it's like a reminder to myself of it's a card that I want to have. It's a reminder to myself of a player that I really, really like. It's actually probably the only card over $5 that I own that I don't put out for sale. Whenever I'm talking about, I don't even think about, remember that I actually own that card. It's weird. Alright. You guys want to bet on how many, well, you'll probably know. It probably shows it. How many watchers we have? What the heck? 7. 7 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. So I'm not even joking. That's good. 7 people just hanging out. Watching me go through cards. I'm not even providing a service here. I'm just going through, I'm picking out, this is a baseball priced box, so I'm just picking out the stuff that's like, I might put out in a showcase or something. I don't even know. I'm going to have a lot of room at this show because I've got a whole extra table that probably not going to use. Hey, Barry, are you and Chuck, if you're still here, are you and Chuck coming to that show? I'm trying to put stuff together so I can eat up some of that table. But I've got some ideas, like that vintage box is going. I've just got one showcase to take, but I might take, like, beside the showcase, put out some, like, lower value showcase cards, like $20 to $40 cards, and just put them out on the table. And it's kind of cheap, but it takes up space, and they sell better that way. Like, they're gonna sell better than if they're in a box. So I don't know. Interesting. Wait, did I go through? I don't know if I did. I think I did. Wait. No. I did not. I still have a box left to go through. Friday. Right on. Sweet. I want to see how Saquon holds up. That's what I'm interested to know. Oh, I need to look this up. Devin Duvernay? Isn't Devin Duvernay the one that ran the touchdown back? It's actually pretty decent. Devin Duvernay. Bet his stuff's not going up any. Is he the one that was the Devin Duvernay. Yeah, he's like 3 TDs. Yeah, I mean, his stuff hasn't gone up much. If there's a white select out of 75 RPA for $18. It's better than it was, though. There for a while. Oh, I've got this card right here. That's the card I pulled out, and I was like, I need to look at that. I got $18 on it right now, so I'm just gonna leave that on there. But yeah, this stuff's definitely gone up. Some, I mean, it's worth having now. There for a while is pretty sketch. I think I'm gonna I've got a quarterbacks box that's got all the new quarterbacks. Someone I know ripped a $33,000 case of National Treasures and did not pull anything close to 33K. He pulled up out of 20 Duvernay Midnight RPA, and I snatched it for $100. Yeah, that's to be expected, I think. Like, can you even pull anything? I mean, I guess like what's a what's a Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert? Like, let's say Justin Herbert. Like, what's a Justin Herbert National Treasures true RPA out of 99 from National Treasures? Like, is it worth $33,000? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's not, but it's not worth much more than that, I don't think. And I mean, the odds of that are pretty slim. I'm guessing usually that's how that stuff's priced, is like, that's probably about what the best card you could pull would be worth, even for like that high end stuff. And what are the odds of pulling that? I mean, it's probably pretty slim. He pulled a Herbert out of 99 field pass. It's only $1,500. Eesh. Eesh. Yeah. It's probably, I mean, it's not a good idea to rip wax. I feel like this is something that people know, though. Like, I'm not going to beat the drum on that for very long. Golly. Jamal Adams is out for the year, I think, isn't he? I think so. Got a Contenders Optic rookie ticket auto of his that I need to reprice probably. A Herbert True and TRPA PSA 9 did 60K. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I could see it being more than the 33K. I don't know what the odds are of pulling like one of those top QB RPAs. It's probably pretty low. Like, I bet you've got to open like on average probably like 150 to 200 grand worth of that stuff to pull that $60,000 card, or like, something equivalent to that. I mean, that on a good product, your average return, like if you open 1,000 cases, let's say, I mean, across the product, your average return is about 50%. And that's if you sell everything that's sellable. That's on a good product. Some stuff's trash. Jamal. He's a backup to Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to retire. I mean, can you explain how Kyle Trask cards go for so much? I didn't think they went for very much. I mean, you can get a pretty solid auto for $30. I mean, it's quarterbacks in football. If there's a chance he plays this year, he's young. He hasn't shown that he hasn't failed yet. And, it's just 25. I mean, yeah. I mean, Tom Brady's like 53 now? I don't know. If he plays as long as Brady, Kyle Trask still got like 20 years left in his career. Trask has dropped. I actually don't think it's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Tampa Bay didn't show any signs they were going to go away from Kyle Trask whenever Brady was retiring. So Um, yeah, I don't know that it's really a bad buy if you want to hold on to it for a year. I don't think Brady plays after this year, so I don't think he's going to have a very good year. But I very well could be wrong. I very well could be wrong, but I think he's done. I do. I think if he had had that, I think if he had had that $350 commentator contract before he came back, I don't think he would have came back. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I don't think he lasts another year. Trash certified RPAs, like 50 to 80. Brady's wife's pissed. That's awesome. I think that's about. I guess I could. There's probably some other stuff I could mess with. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, go use the restroom, and go smoke a cigarette, and I'll be back. I'm gonna be in here working anyways, so I'll just leave it. I'll be here as long as I've got stuff to do. No point in like wrapping it up or just to be off camera. It's just my friends in here, anyways. Hello, friends. BRB, yo. BRB. Oh, BRB. I'll keep the channel name the Warehouse Berry, because Mike uses it for marketing for the warehouse. So I'm not gonna, like, I have no reason to change it. So he does his pickup videos and all that stuff. So he'll keep doing videos, and I'll I'll do whatever, and we'll just, you know, we'll just use it however we feel like it, really. I'm just trying to be cheeky. Get my little intermission sign up. There we go. All right. BRB. Let's all go to the movies. Let's all. Sheesh. How do I submit my application for guest speaker? You have to go through our PR representative, Barry. She's got a form you'll fill out, and then you'll be reviewed extensively by our governance board. We'll have to do a background check, credit check, all that stuff, and then once we're satisfied that you're a potential candidate, we'll reach out through our customer relations people, and we will set up an informal interview. It's a 3-step interview process. Once you get through the interviews, if you're selected, then you will be eligible to come on the program, and we will schedule you for a time that is non-flexible. Oh, looks like you didn't make the cut. No. No, everybody's welcome to be a part of the Warehouse YouTube channel / Card Collex. So this is my $2 boxes. I'm just really going through here to see if there's anything like a Spencer Strider refractor or something like that that's just like crazy, shouldn't be in here, because I haven't actually put these out in, gosh, I don't even know, like maybe February's Paris show might have been the last time I put these $2 boxes out. I think it's been like since then, but it's been a while. I did put $2 boxes out at Dallas, and they did really well, but they were all top loaded, and all of my lightly used top loaders are in Kansas City. I haven't brought them back yet, so I'm not going to use new top loaders for these $2 cards. So I'll just take them like this because I need inventory and I've got extra table space. And, see how they do. Put them out. If people want to buy them, they can buy them. Connor's been declined. Connor's out of the running. Dang it. Well, you have to wait 15 months and then you can apply again, Connor. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe Barry has a change of heart between now and then. You're cold, Barry. It's cold. He just wants to express his opinion. Golly, again. There's some cool stuff in here. $2012 Prism Chipper Jones. Ooh, yeah. Like that's worth $2 because good luck finding them. Like, if you go on eBay to buy that card, if you want that card, like, you're gonna pay, I guess maybe you find one for 99 cents with free shipping, but why are you even selling on eBay if you're selling for 99 cents with free shipping? Like, you're basically just giving stuff away. Hey, eBay charges you 30 cents a minimum fee of 30 cents if you sell a card. So then you're at 70 cents, and even if you just use standard envelope, that's what, another 55 cents. I mean, you're actually losing money if you sell a card. So with a card like that Chipper Jones, like, you're much better buying that card from me than trying to find it on eBay for 99 cents. Here's a Don Mattingly 2012 Prism. But that's just kind of stuff you figure out doing shows. Like what sells, what doesn't. Like it's all experience type stuff. Certain things sell really well. Actually, 90s insert stuff always sells well. Because the guys that'll actually sit down and go through the $1 and $2 boxes, I mean, a lot of those guys are the guys that love that stuff. They love those 90s inserts. So they normally do well. Let's see here. Surely we can find something better than this intermission thing. I don't know what though. Can't put any like YouTube or YouTube TV like a game on or anything because they'll take the. Well, it's not monetized though. I'm not gonna monetize stuff. For a while on YouTube because I'm not actually making content. Like I don't consider this making content. This is just me hanging out with people over the computer. Over the computer. Yeah, there's some good stuff in here. I don't think there's anything crazy though. I really want to find a Nestor Cortez refractor. Very nasty Nestor, even though they've come down a lot. They were like, it's his only card. 2019 Topps Chrome Nestor Cortez. It's like literally the only rookie card he has. Pretty much, literally. Like, it's a weird thing to say, but it's like almost the only card he has. I think he has like a 2016 Elite or something like that. But anyways, yeah, earlier in the season when his stuff was hot, that card was like friggin' $100. The numbered one, because the base refractors in Topps Update, it's Topps Chrome Update 2019, and the base refractors are numbered to $4.99. So yeah, I think the base refractor was going for around $100. And then there's pink refractors that are like there's pink refractors that are, man, there's some cool stuff in here. Not numbered. And they were like $60, but I bet they're a lot less. Micah Parsons cards are nutty? Why? Why would, I mean, like nuttier than like normal? Or are you saying like his cards shouldn't be worth what they go for? Or are you saying his cards have gone up a lot since the beginning of the season? Nestor is Topps Chrome Nestor rookie card refractor. Connor, your pinks are $9.99.20 as in August. There's a gold for $90. 25 in July. Yeah, I mean they've come down. 46 for the base refractor. That's a base. Those aren't out of 250. That's a prism. Is that out of 250? Oh, it's not a prism. It's just a base. I thought those were out of 499. I guess the update refractors are out of 250. Well, anyways, yeah. So you can find one of those pinks. I guess they're anywhere from $5 to $20. I mean, $10. I mean, he's a cowboy. Like that's That's the big thing with Micah Parsons is he's on the Cowboys. Cowboys are like the Yankees. Like there's a lot of Cowboys fans, and they buy a lot of cards. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Micah Parsons, no matter how good he is, like his cards aren't going to be worth a ton, but he doesn't have to necessarily be Lawrence Taylor. Like Joey Bosa, RPAs are still high. Like TJ Watt, when he's not hurt, stuff's good. So you're taking big swings, Connor. But I would say you're taking big swings with the mindset of like future events. Like you are not taking a big swing on a card. Like Barry takes big swings on cards that are like, okay, there's no comps out there. Like, I think this card is worth a lot more than what this person's valuing at. Or the last comp on this card was $1,000, but I think it's a bad comp. I think that's actually a $2,000 card, so I'm okay. I'll buy that card at sticker at retail at $1,000 because I think that comp's going to fade out or a new one's going to come in and that card's actually worth more. But if you're taking a swing on a big swing on a card that's fairly valued that relies on future events or even worse, like relies on the hobby changing their mind to view things the way you view them. I mean, that's like Rafael Devers. Like Rafael Devers is great. He's been great for a few years now, but you're relying on the rest of the hobby to agree with you that Rafael Devers is undervalued. Which I don't put much faith in that situation. I think there's for like if you wanted to do a short-term thing, like look at somebody that's like a lock to make the Hall of Fame. Like I don't know, but there definitely is a difference. Yeah, I mean, it's when you're basing it on Rafael Devers is going to have an amazing year and he's going to win the MVP and this card's going to double in value. There's a lot of things that have to go right, and that's basically gambling. Like you might as well just put $100 down that Rafael Devers is going to win the MVP at like 50-1, and if you win, then you make $5,000. Like. But it's not your full-time profession. Like you can afford to do it, free to do it and can afford to do it however you like. But I just definitely Chuck and Barry have woke me up to a different way of consistently making money in the high-end stuff that they do. But that's the only way that I know of to because I don't even though I kind of know how they do things, I don't operate in that manner in that world. So the only way I know how to do it is just buy stuff for cheap and sell it as quick as you can. This is the only way I know how to make money in cards. And that the more work you're willing to put into it, you're basically paying yourself to, put that work in. The more work you're willing to put into it, the more your margin will be. I mean, you got to take into account that margin is based on, you're not getting paid for that work till you sell this stuff. So, I mean, if it like these $4 boxes, like let's say I don't. That's the perfect thing with these. Is I don't have a lot of work in them. I know what stuff goes well in there. So let's say there's 600, 500 cards in one of these boxes, and it averages 75 cents a card. So I'm into that box for like $350. And really, as I'm sorting cards, I'm almost immediately able to identify what cards will go well in these boxes, whether it's like random jerseys and autos or certain refractors of like mid-level players or star veteran refractors, stuff like that. So really, and I don't have to price them. That's the beautiful thing about it. I don't have to price them. I don't have to list them. I just throw them in the box and take them. So it's a really good money maker, being that there's not just a ton of work that goes into it. But like dollar boxes and these $2 boxes, like if I was to go through and, you know, if there's 500 a case, it costs me, let's say $100 for a case of top loaders. And I could do 2 of these boxes, you know, $50. So now I've got 400. No. Because these $2 cards, I don't have anything in. Like, I'm not paying for these. They're free. So I've got $50 in top loaders in this box of $2 cards, and there's 600 cards in here, 500 to 600 cards in here. Yeah, I sell those for, you know, $1 to $1.50 a piece, and I just made, let's say, minimum like $400, you know, off that box. They sell a lot better if they're top loaded, and really, you know, if you're buying a case for like $100 or less, then you're into the top loaders for 10 cents a piece, you know. But, you know, you gotta go through, you gotta identify what those cards are, sort everything out, sleeve everything, top load everything, go to shows, pay table fees, sell everything. Like, it's tough to be profitable at unless you are. It's tough to be profitable at unless you're doing it like I have a system down because I do it on a regular basis. Like, I 3 or 4 shows a month right now. So that definitely makes it more efficient. Golly, what about Jose Abreu? I mean, his stuff was good for like a minute when he won the MVP, and it'll just never be worth very much ever again. But I definitely plan on, once I get all my stuff down here, going through and top loading all these. And there's like, with these not being top loaded, just in penny sleeves, there's probably like there's probably close to like there's like 12 to 1500 cards in here in this box. Yeah. There's some like sets and stuff that take up space. So this, yeah, probably like 12 to 1500 cards in here. So that's enough for like 2 to 3, 4 rows top loaded. I mean, it looks like it looks like when you do that, it looks like there's a lot more stuff to go through, which people kind of like. You know, if they can sit down, they like to be able to, sit down at a table and go through like cards for like 3 hours or whatever. Um, so they kind of like that, but um, yeah, it'll make a good little show thing, and it does sell better. They sell well. I just think like dollar boxes. I don't plan on doing much as far as dollar boxes anytime in the anytime soon, because I feel like it's 2022, like dollar boxes have been around for 30 years, and they've got kind of, in a way, they've got the same cards in them that they had 30 years ago. And so I like, with a dollar box, there's not much I can offer people. But with like a $2 box or a $4 box, like I can still get them like decent rookie cards and relics and autos and like stuff that is a little bit more, like a little bit better, that people enjoy a little more. But I'm going to go through these two boxes real quick and sleeve anything that needs to be sleeved. And then I am probably done for the night. That's pretty much everything I wanted to do. So I am very thankful that everybody came in and hung out with me, because that was actually really productive. This is like everything I wanted to accomplish, and it's like 10:30. I would have like procrastinated and like messed around, and it'd have been like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd been like, I'm just not gonna take these $2 boxes. maybe. But yeah, this was kind of why I wanted to do these. Kind of like, if I'm working anyways, it kind of like helps me not necessarily be more motivated, and I'm probably not as efficient, but it just kind of like sets a timeline and a schedule, and motivates me to do stuff that actually shows people, like maybe somebody could learn from, which is good for me and good for you. Obviously has worked out pretty well. Tables in Arkansas, I think, I need to see. I might still have it in my texts, because I think I paid like $300 for 3 tables, but I don't remember completely. So I'll have to see. Mm-hmm. No, actually, tables are 6 foot, and they were $70 a piece. 3 for 210. Oh, okay, that's better. I can fill up 3 6-foot tables. I need to text Trevor. Tell him, hey, I don't need you to I was gonna sell him a table. He's already got 5. Because I thought they were 8-foot tables. I'm like, man, I don't have enough stuff to fill up 3 8-foot tables. Not here with me. It's 3 8-foot tables is just a little more than 2, or 3 6-foot tables is just a little more than 2 8-foot tables. That's cheap too. I mean, it's $210 for a little over. It's basically $100 a table if they were 8-foot tables. I mean, that's doing it right. Like, I don't know if y'all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen. And I'm not trying to dog on the guy, but there's a guy doing a show in Blue Springs or Lee Summit the next, like the same weekend as the next Olathe show. And I definitely want to do the Midwest Monster if I can. The tables are $330 for a 120 table show. $330 for 3 tables for a 120 table show. I'm going to vent a little bit here. That has never been done before. There is zero chance that I am paying $330 to do a 120 table show that has no following. Zero chance. I just don't get it. Like, that's like, Matt's been a promoter for a long time. He knows that's the price he needs to be at to make it worthwhile for the dealers and worthwhile for the customers. When you start raising the table price, you're taking money out of the pockets of the dealers. When you start charging admission, you're taking money out of the pockets of the dealers. Like, those people are now not spending that money because they just spent it with the promoter. And promoters should make money on their shows. They definitely should. But, you know, to a certain extent, like, so anyways, yeah, it's just refreshing because Matt's like, oh, it's, $210 for 3 tables. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all over that. Even if they're 6-foot tables, it's still a good deal. And I'm like, okay, how do you, like, when do you need payment? How do you want to get paid? He's like, just pay me when you get here, which is like standard, like what you expect from a good promoter for the last 20 years. And I don't know, it was almost shocking to me because I'm used to like going to Dallas and paying $450 for 2 tables up front 3 months ahead of time, and then them charging $80 for Wi-Fi and charging people $30 admission and all this other stuff. It's like, they're the ones really killing it, and if you're trying to do like a good show, and I'm all about it, like, do a good show. I think promoters should make money, but like there's even that Dallas show, like, I don't know. Yeah, Collecticon charges $30 a day. But now that's the difference is Collecticon's a Kansas City Convention Center. I bet it costs them 20, 30, 40 grand to rent that room for the weekend. And they're only, they're charging $200 a table basically. They got Vanilla Ice, which is probably not a lot of money, but it's probably not cheap. He's probably not doing it for free. Like that I can see. Like, I can see where the costs go. But like down in Dallas, like Kyle's charging a minimum $200 a table for 700 tables. That's 140 grand, and $30 a day to, let's say, 5,000 people. That's another at least 200 grand, at least. I mean, I would, and yes, he has employees for like 3 days. Um, and that venue probably costs quite a bit of money. It might cost $100,000. I'd say it doesn't. I would say that venue costs about 50 grand for that weekend. And he probably makes about 250 grand off of that show that he does every 2 months. And bully on you. But, you've done that show for a long time and you're making a lot of money. Good for you. But that 250 grand is coming out of a certain portion of that's coming out of the pocket of the dealers that set up there. Those people that's $30 a piece per day that they're not spending on cards because they spend it on admission. So that's my rant for the night. I don't want to be a promoter. There's certain situations where I might do it if I had to keep a show going. Like if somebody passed away or if they couldn't do a show anymore. Like there's certain situations where I might step in and do it, but I don't really have a desire to. I don't know. I mean, if the money's good enough, it's just like I'm not going to do a show where I'm not going to promote a show where I'm going to make an exorbitant amount of money, because I think that's disrespectful to the dealers and the hobby. Then maybe that doesn't make sense if you look at your job as being the promoter, and the better you do your job is based on making as much money as possible. But if I am whoever, and let's say after costs, if I'm down there in Dallas, let's say after cost, every 2 months, I'm profiting 100 grand off a show, I am probably going to start pulling back those admission fees. I'm probably going to start pulling back those table fees, because there is not that much that goes into that show. Yes, there's work involved. There is work involved in promoting it and getting it going. And this is, 10, 15, 20 years of working to get this show going and keep it going. But I do not think, I think that there's a line there where, as a dealer, for it to continue. For instance, I have to sell 5 grand to do well at that show. If there comes a point where I can't sell 5 grand at that show, I'm not going to that show anymore. And there's a lot of people that are already like that and are going to be like that. And that's why you see table space opening up. And eventually you're going to see this shrinking where, either table fees and admissions going to go down, or the number of dealers that are willing to do that show is going to go down. One or the other. Your venue space you're going to have to get a smaller venue. That show's going to start shrinking. So either your fees are going to shrink that you're charging people, or your show's going to shrink, one or the other. So bully on you. You struck while the iron was hot and probably made a retirement worth of money off that show. But, I guess, it's not going to hurt anything, but eventually it's going to start shrinking up. I would rather have a show where I make a good but fair amount of money for my time. That's the best show that I can do. I don't know. Maybe that's chump think. anyways, I think I'm done. I'm done ranting, and I'm obviously tired because I'm ranting, and I got all my work done. So thanks everybody. I appreciate you, and I will, Barry. I'll probably see you and Chuck in Arkansas, and everybody else. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good night. Bye bye.